10 inspirational quotes for and by weird people. Unfortunately, weirdness, or uniqueness, is something that most people in the world simply don't know how to appreciate. Most people are more comfortable around conventional or normal people. After all, this seems to be the much safer choice. However, eccentricity is often synonymous with authenticity and a strong sense of self-confidence. Often, we hide the best parts of ourselves because we're afraid that others are going to reject or misunderstand us. After all, it's happened, either to us or to people that we know, and sometimes at a very young age. Part of the human condition is the desire to be liked and to conform to the box we're supposed to be in. At some point, there comes a time when we realize that we don't want people to like us for something or someone we're not. This is the point where you learn to embrace your weirdness and learn to appreciate your unique self, flaws and all. In this presentation, we'll provide you with 10 inspiration quotes for and by weird people that will encourage you to be yourself, no matter how weird you may seem to others. In nature, nothing is perfect. Trees can be contorted, bent in weird ways, and they're still beautiful. Alice Walker. Be weird, be random, be who you are, because you never know who would love the person you hide. Unknown. There's no such thing as a weird human being. It's just that some people require more understanding than others. Tom Robbins. I'd rather be weird and happy than normal and miserable. Suzanne Colasanti. I don't see myself as weird. I just see myself as honest. Tori Amos. I like weird people. The black sheep, the odd ducks, the rejects, the eccentrics, the loners, the lost and forgotten. More often than not, these people have the most beautiful souls. Unknown. I am convinced that the only people worthy of consideration in this world are the unusual ones. For the common folks are like the leaves of a tree and live and die unnoticed. L. Frank Baum. I think everyone's weird. We should all celebrate our individuality and not be embarrassed or ashamed of it. Johnny Depp. All forms of madness, bizarre habits, awkwardness in society, general clumsiness are justified in the person who creates good art. Roman Paine. Blessed are the weird people, poets, misfits, writers, mystics, painters, troubadours, for they teach us to see the world through different eyes. Jacob Nordby. Conclusion. You must learn to embrace your weirdness. Sure, not everyone is going to fall in love with who you are, and that's perfectly okay. Not everyone has to like you. The only thing that matters is that you learn to like yourself and be true to yourself. Don't ever let anyone get you down. Debunking 5 common myths about weirdness. There are 5 self-beliefs that have an impact on your performance. If you ever find yourself thinking or believing any of these, be careful. On the other hand, if you do hold any of these beliefs, you can be optimistic because beliefs can be changed. In this presentation, we're going to debunk 5 common myths about weirdness. This will help you become aware of what needs to change and understand how your behavior is influenced by your motives. Success is determined by how you compare with others. When it comes to our personal and professional agendas, we all set our own standards of excellence. We compare ourselves to our past achievements. We compare ourselves to objective standards. We compare ourselves to other people. These comparison points determine our goals. I cannot obtain happiness. Many people believe that their weirdness will keep them from obtaining happiness, no matter what they're trying to do. They believe that they're just as likely to find a unicorn in the White House. However, it is possible to achieve happiness. Here's what you must do. Figure out your values. Understand that attaining certain goals isn't the answer. I'm not in control of the world. According to Carol Dweck, a psychologist, we have one of 2 primary viewpoints that affect how we interact with the world. We believe that we can change and grow with personal effort, or we are at the mercy of the world, unable to influence our own destiny. My skill/ability is extraordinary. A survey from 2018 indicated that 73% of nearly 3,000 college-educated Americans believed that they were above average intelligence. Unfortunately, skill inflation is a major issue in the workplace. A college graduate will show up for a job thinking they can do it when, in reality, they're not even close to being prepared. In addition to derailing your career, overconfidence in your skills makes you seem hopeless because you have no clue that your performance is subpar. When you're in a professional environment, you may have a hard time recognizing the obvious, and instead of trying to improve, you just keep looking for validation for your own beliefs while ignoring information that conflicts them. It's my motivational type. As humans, we have a voracious desire to try to find the reason for certain behaviors, outcomes, and events. If something doesn't work out right, we want to know who caused it and why it happened. If something does work out perfectly, we snatch up credit and then try to find out how and why it was a successful outcome so that it can be repeated in the future. We also enjoy not expending cognitive effort when we can. Why should we think/reason if it's possible to generalize? This pattern of seeking causes an event, and also resting our brain causes us to label others based on certain characteristics and traits. We use labels to justify our identities and behaviors. Labeling ourselves and others becomes an issue that leads to inaccurately branding others for several reasons. For example, though some consultants/authors would like you to believe it, there is actually no such thing as fixed motivation. Though you might exhibit some dominant motivations, your behaviors actually change with the situation. When we generalize, we assume that everyone that falls under that certain label have the same motivations. They really don't. Sometimes a person is labeled and they act the way they are labeled because that's what they think is expected. Conclusion. If you find that you have any of these weird thoughts or behaviors, don't stress too much over it. The truth is, when you become aware of it and decide that you want to change, you'll be able to. Hopefully, this has helped you to debunk 5 common myths about weirdness. How to foster creativity, one day at a time. Looking back through human history, you can see that value has been placed on creativity. Some have even referred to it as the skill of the future. Perhaps this is because creativity helps individuals adapt to uncertainties and solve issues as they come up. Some research suggests that creativity is a more accurate predictor of extended lifespan than intelligence or openness to experience. In this tutorial, we'll teach you how to foster creativity one day at a time. Steps to fostering creativity daily. Here are 8 steps to fostering creativity in your daily life. Make a plan. The very first step to fostering creativity is to work on your craft. While this may seem obvious, the truth is many of us forget that in order to be successful, we must work hard and practice. We can't just sit still doing the same thing every day and expect to see improvement. In order to grow, we must consistently water our soil. One way to do this is to make a plan. Set aside time on a daily basis to work on specific things. Additionally, set goals for yourself. Creating a plan instills commitment. Giving yourself deadlines helps you to manage and track your progress. Most of all, this will keep you accountable. Carry a journal. In some cases, you may feel like you're running around with no time to foster your creativity. However, don't let this limit you. Keep a journal with you at all times. This way, you can pull it out and jot down ideas as they come up. This will help you spark your creativity when you have time to work on it. Establish a notes section on your phone or computer. If you're like most people, you use your phone and/or your computer to check your messages, answer emails, check social media, interact with clients, surf the internet, and more. One of the best and most convenient ways to record your ideas is to use a notes app on your phone or computer. Unplug. Instead of mindlessly surfing the internet, binge watching a favorite show on Netflix, or scrolling through social media, spend that time being creative. If you'll use this time 1 to 2 days a week, you'll find that you actually do have more time to be creative. Work on something different. Sometimes you may get stuck in a rut, and the best way to get out of that rut is to find something new and different to work on. When you set aside time to pursue something different than your normal creative activities, you may surprise yourself, open up new ideas or processes, and maybe even feel more inspired to get back to what you're familiar with. Wake up early. Believe it or not, waking up just 30 minutes early can change your entire day. This will actually help you have way more time than you usually do. Plus, you'll begin the day by getting your creative work taken care of. This helps eliminate any stress you have trying to get it done at the end of the day when you're exhausted or uninspired. Taking care of creative work early in the day will help you start in a more positive way. When you make waking up early part of your routine, creativity will feel like a normal part of the day instead of an obligation. Create an inspirational space. If you find something that inspires you, email the link to yourself or pin it to your Pinterest board or bookmark it. This will ensure that you don't forget about it and you can find it again in the future. Plus, it will give you a list of inspirational content in the future when you find yourself stuck. Embrace the mess. The truth is, everything you create is not going to be a headline-worthy piece. However, don't let this get you down. The important thing is practice, not perfection. Embrace the mess and understand that success is an ongoing process. Enjoy the process, even the mistakes, and let yourself grow. Conclusion. There has always been value placed on creativity. However, in our day-to-day lives, we often get busy and forget to take time to be creative. These tips can help you foster creativity on a daily basis.